People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Order without liberty and liberty without order are equally destructive. Sometimes in life, both at school and afterwards, fortune will go against anyone, but if he just keeps pegging away and don't lose his courage, things always take a turn for the better in the end. The men and women who have the right ideals are those who have the courage to strive for the happiness which comes only with labor and effort and self-sacrifice, and those whose joy in life springs in part from the power of work and sense of duty. Our chief usefulness to humanity rests on our combining power with high purpose. Power undirected by high purpose spells calamity, and high purpose by itself is utterly useless if the power to put it into effect is lacking. Knowing what's right doesn't mean much unless you do what's right. If I must choose between peace and righteousness, I choose righteousness. Courtesy is as much a mark of a gentleman as courage. The boy who is going to make a great man must not make up his mind merely to overcome 1,000 obstacles, but to win in spite of 1,000 repulses and defeats. The things that will destroy America are prosperity at any price, peace at any price, safety first instead of duty first, and love of soft living and the get-rich-quick theory of life. The most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Keep your eyes on the stars, and your feet on the ground. Remember always that the man who does a thing so that it is worth doing is always a man who does his work for the work's sake. A scientific man, a writer, a historian, an artist, can only be a good man of science, a first-class artist, a first-class writer, if he does his work for the sake of doing it well. I cannot consent to take the position that the door of hope, the door of opportunity, is to be shut upon any man, no matter how worthy, purely upon the grounds of race or color. Such an attitude would, according to my convictions, be fundamentally wrong. Peace is normally a great good, and normally it coincides with righteousness, but it is righteousness and not peace which should bind the conscience of a nation as it should bind the conscience of an individual, and neither a nation nor an individual can surrender conscience to another's keeping. I am a part of everything that I have read. We must show, not merely in great crises, but in the everyday affairs of life, the qualities of practical intelligence, of courage, of hardihood, and endurance, and above all the power of devotion to a lofty ideal, which made great the men who founded this republic in the days of Washington, which made great the men who preserved this republic in the days of Abraham Lincoln. There is only one quality worse than hardness of heart, and that is softness of head. Dreams are a dime a dozen. It's their execution that counts. Freedom from effort in the present merely means that there has been effort stored up in the past. People ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads, and the boss drives. We are not building this country of ours for a day. It is to last through the ages. No man needs sympathy because he has to work, because he has a burden to carry. Far and away the best prize that life offers is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. Don't hit at all if it is honorably possible to avoid hitting, but never hit soft. I don't always get shot during the middle of a speech, but when I do, I finish the damn speech. When they call the roll in the Senate, the senators do not know whether to answer present or not guilty. It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. It is a bad thing for a nation to raise and to admire a false standard of success, and there can be no falser standard than that set by the deification of material well-being in and for itself. We need the iron qualities that go with true manhood. We need the positive virtues of resolution, of courage, of indomitable will, of power to do without shrinking the rough work that must always be done. A vote is like a rifle, its usefulness depends upon the character of the user. Life means change. Where there is no change, death comes. With self-discipline, almost anything is possible. Whenever you are asked if you can do a job, tell them, "Certainly I can." Then get busy and find out how to do it. I have only a second-rate brain, but I think I have a capacity for action. A great democracy has got to be progressive, or it will soon cease to be either great or a democracy. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Character, in the long run, is the decisive factor in the life of an individual and of nations alike. It is only through labor and painful effort, by grim energy and resolute courage, that we move on to better things. This country will not be a good place for any of us to live in if it is not a reasonably good place for all of us to live in. No one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Far better is it to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy nor suffer much, because they live in a grey twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. Each time we face our fear, we gain strength, courage, and confidence in the doing. Power invariably means both responsibility and danger. I don't pity any man who does hard work worth doing. I admire him. I pity the creature who does not work, at whichever end of the social scale he may regard himself as being. I have always been fond of the West African proverb, speak softly and carry a big stick, you will go far. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the choice that something else is greater than that fear. Nothing worth having was ever achieved without effort. This country has nothing to fear from the crooked man who fails. We put him in jail. It is the crooked man who succeeds who is a threat to this country. The unforgivable crime is soft hitting. Do not hit at all if it can be avoided, but never hit softly. Courage is not having the strength to go on, it is going on when you don't have the strength.